Hey, what's going on everybody? It's Crypto Vision here, back again with another crypto market update. Today's video, we're going to be checking out some BTC, some Bitcoin dominance, stablecoin dominance, some other charts. If you're interested, make sure to stick around to the end to see everything. Hey, if you like today's video, please hit that like button, subscribe for more. Let's get into it. So all the hooting and hollering, all the blah blah blah, right? We've had this idea for Bitcoin, stablecoin dominance, crypto for a long time. Right? We've had this idea that we're going to see something crazy happen. Okay? And in order for that to happen, Bitcoin needs to shock the world. Right? It really does. Bitcoin needs to do what gold has done, do what Nvidia has done, and really capture the world, right? Because as of right now, crypto has an asterisk next to it of being a scam, being filled with fraud, being filled with controversy, right? No one cares about controversy when the asset is going to the freaking moon. Okay, so what we got here, we've had this for a long time. This has been a rather strong case for why I believe that Bitcoin is going to the 130s to the 140s and beyond, right? In the future, right? In the future, but I do think, right, for this run, like the one, I think someone asked, it was like 1 7 1. Did I leave it on here? I did not. Maybe it's on the weekly. It is on the weekly. Yeah. What did I say? I was saying like 160 to possibly 180. All right, just because that's a 2618, right? Just a wick or something along those lines. But what we have here on the monthly, as you can see clearly, we have a breakout and we have a back test. I don't know if, so just in case for those who don't know, right, this is the strongest case for conviction, for me at least, right, is the breakout and then the back test, right? We had 103 for a long time, 106 for a long time, just because this is where it was down through here. I didn't actually think it would come all the way down once again, just because it did it right here, and it kind of, it kind of back tested right there. But potato, it did it. Right? We're not going to live in the past. It's all good. Nothing has changed. We are still in the markets. We've added to some positions based on previous profits. So everything is good. In terms of Bitcoin, right, as a whole, right, a lot of people are saying, right, on so the RSI, pretty bearish, right? You got higher highs in price, lower highs in RSI, right? That's bearish divergence. Bearish divergence can be wiped out with 1 month, one candle. It really can. One candle can wipe out all bearish divergence. We've seen it in stablecoin dominance time and time again, right? Bearish divergence one day, next day it's bullish, and it's not. I don't think it's going to be, that's surprising to people once they look back and say, oh, dang, Bitcoin was actually just consolidating and getting ready for new all-time highs. And I think that's what we're going to get. I think that's what we're going to get this month. Right? I actually do. I think November is going to be a great month. Middle of November, maybe another week of a correction. I do think that Bitcoin might fluctuate through here, the 99,000 to the 105, 107. And I think altcoins will correct a little bit more, right? The reason being is because stablecoin dominance and Bitcoin dominance. So if we're looking at, the overall RSI, it does look like it wants to drop a little bit more, and that would kind of coincide with us maybe coming back down to 100,000, right? Maybe coming back down to 100,000. I know it's on the monthly, but where did the month start? The month started right here. So maybe bouncing, coming in and bouncing off, something like that, right? Overall, right, the weekly, where we're at on the weekly, we're almost to this trend line down through here on this 100-day EMA. A lot of people are talking about the 50-day EMA. I'm talking about my whole thing is, you're consolidating within this range right here. The 1272 and the 1618. That is so bullish, ladies and gentlemen. That is so bullish. Let's go put this for an example on XRP. XLM, it's right here. XLM's right here. So, right, if you have your, let's do a Fibonacci extension. All right, let's do something like this. Where's our, you know what, that's way too small. We're going to do it up through here. It's as if, you know, XLM broke out to $1.10, right? It broke out to $1.10, right? Or even more, right? Just right above it. And it's just doing this up here. How much, I mean, think about that for your favorite altcoin. Think about that for your favorite asset. Consolidating in between this area like this, right? Totally different story, totally different ball game. And those who are screaming, you know, who are super bearish right now, they haven't been in. They haven't been in. They're grifters. They you know, they produce content for likes, for clicks, for views, for controversy, right? You know, I don't know if you've heard about the theory, but you draw the most attention when you either hated or loved, right? Being in the middle, you don't. There's nothing for people in the middle because people always tend to lean to one or the other, right? You really love something or you really hate something, right? But I digress, right? I try to be, you know, I try to be towards whatever side you want, but I try to be level-headed, right? I'm not going to say a bunch of nonsense just to get views and clicks. That's just not how I roll. And so, right, you are consolidating, right? You had a little bit, you know, you got a little bit above the 1618, but you're really consolidating, right? This 1-2, you came right down to the 1272, right down to our 1272. So we had this at, so you came down to 98,872. This was 99. Right, just below it, and you know, it's almost at this point you look like you're kind of in A, B, C. That's what it looks like, and you look like you're pretty much done. Maybe sideways for a week, maybe sideways for a week or two. Maybe you come up, maybe you come back down, then you go, something like that. Nothing too exciting. I just, and until the government is opened, until there is, you know, a tweet from Donald Trump saying, you know, we got to deal with China. The market makers, there's no real reason to pump the markets. But I mean, there has been some very bullish news coming out, and without pumps. So at this point, I think the cycle is not reliant upon you know, your traditional news, your fundamental news. You know, oh, this is the fundamentals of this, the use case. It doesn't freaking matter. In my opinion, it doesn't really matter, right? It's going to be used regardless, but for the price action to move, I think there's going to be some kind of narrative that's going to flip bullish, and everyone's going to be like, "Oh, I told you so, bullish." But you weren't bullish. You're full of crap. So overall, I do think Bitcoin is in a healthy position, right? I actually do think it's in a very healthy position, right? The monthly RSI has bearish divergence, but the weekly RSI does not have any bearish divergence. You're right at your equilibrium, right? You know, I mean, you're finding support as you go sideways on the Fu Manchu. Your RSI is at an area where you've bounced not once, but twice. Okay, so you did it back in April, and you did it in November of 2022. Okay, so I mean, this is I believe, you know, this week, I think we do need to close around where we're at right now so this RSI can stay. I don't really want a pump yet. Not yet. Next week I do. Not because I called it, just because of what the technicals are showing. But we all know how reliable technicals are, so let's be real. So yeah, so that's what I got for Bitcoin, just to reassure a lot of the people out there. You know, I just really hope that you're not, you know, selling at the lows, right? You know, I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice. But what my methodology is, you never sell dumps, right? If you're going to sell it on a green day, right? Sell it on a green day. Don't sell it on a red day, okay? Because it's a double, it's almost worse, right? When you sell and then it pumps. It's could be the worst feeling ever, right? Not the overall fact that you know, are losing money when it goes down, but when you lose money and then you miss out on the opportunity to remake that money, it's gut wrenching, and a lot of people get wrecked like that emotionally, and then they start making terrible decisions. So don't be that person, okay? Don't be like that. so we've covered Bitcoin. Let's go over Bitcoin dominance. Right, this thesis of Bitcoin dominance in a in a corrective fourth wave still stands. I don't care what people say. I don't care how loud people get. Bitcoin dominance is going to crash soon, and when it does, it is going to be so fast, people are not going to know what to do. They're going to be candles like this, bigger candles. It's going to be a candle, so it's going to be something like this at this point. The way that this cycle is going, there's a pressure cooker right now. This is not sustainable right here. Not sustainable. Right? It's not. It looks almost identical to something like this right here. Right there. You did have a drop and you did recover, right? But then you finally did drop. Right, until we get confirmation. So I want to drop, confirmation, rejection, then go. Okay. Nothing has changed on this chart. Nothing has changed. Thesis is still the same. It still remains the same. Right. I mean, you're on the weekly, right? You've been up this is like the 7th week, right? This is the 8th week in a row. 8th week in a row, right? We had 5 weeks up, and look at the momentum we had. Look at that momentum with 5 weeks, right? With 4 weeks, right? We had some momentum building. Look at this momentum. Where is the momentum on Bitcoin dominance? There isn't any, right? There isn't any momentum. And what that tells me is altcoins are being artificially suppressed, right? This chart is being artificially manipulated. So what that means is, on dumps, right? On dumps, altcoins are targeted while Bitcoin is held up. And Bitcoin is at a point where it's being propped up, artificially. And it's going to allow Bitcoin to grow, don't get me wrong, but what market makers are having people believe is that there's no alt season. You go on crypto Twitter, you go on these YouTube, all these YouTube comments, all you hear is no alt season, alt season canceled, bear market here, bear market here. It's like, dude, you have been in a bear market for altcoins for a year. For an entire year, you've been in a bear market. Yeah, some altcoins have pumped here or there, but you've been in a bear market. I mean, I can give some examples if you'd really like, right? I mean, let's go to ADA, right? Let's go to ADA. We're November through here, right? If you take out this pump right here, this is really a bull market. That's not a bull market, right? That's not a bull market. That's sideways, and that's a large asset, right? That's a large asset. Where is it? 2024. You tell me this is a bull market? It's not a bull market. It's not. It's not a bull market, right? Not a bull market. Not a bull market, right? It's down, right? Just down, lower highs. A little bit of a equal high right there, but nothing, right? Nothing. Do you think that's a bull market? That's not a bull market. No way. No way, right? ICP is going crazy right now, but you get the point, right? I mean, there is more in here, like Jasmy. Jasmy's definitely not in a bull market for the last year. I'm a Jasmy holder, I know. I've been buying through here, down through here. Like, it's been crazy, but it's not in a bull market. PNG, right? I covered PNG a good amount. That's not a bull market, right? You're just going down the whole time. Bull markets look like that. They go up. They don't go down, right? So we've been in a what some could call a bear market for alts, right? Look at this chart. Look at this chart. I mean, this chart does not scream bull market, right? As this chart goes up, it's bad for altcoins. And so I think it's the last stage of a bear market, right? The last stage of a the hoorah for Bitcoin, because I think Bitcoin is going to lead the pack, and then I think this thing is going to collapse. And so let's go over to, right, so we've done that. Let's do some stablecoin dominance as per the use. So we've dropped back down. Underneath. But can we stay? Can we hold? I went through and I looked at the monthly as well. I mean, we've been covering this for a while. Okay, this looks ready to just absolutely tank. Okay, this is on the monthly as well. So you come down, you got 1 touch point, 2 touch points, 3 touch points, right? On the 4th, we should be falling through. I know it's on the monthly, and I know you see what I see. I know it. I know you see what I see. You're like, dude, there's no way we're going into 2027, 2026, 2027. That's what the chart has. All right, that's what the chart has with this type of correction. Right? I mean, the fact that this chart has been going up for this long, I mean, just months and months, and then you corrected, and then you're kind of going sideways now. Yeah, this thing can, I know. But here's the good thing, right? If we do even just touch the bottom of it, it's a 20% correction, and that's in January, so it's going to be more. Right? Let's say December, right? 19%. That's about what this candle was right here. 24%. That was in November, December. Right, November, December, and all coins pumped. Right, this was in July. Where's July? Right, pretty small. Right, pretty insignificant. Pretty small. 15%. Right, so it's not like, oh no, all coins are just gonna go down the whole time. No, they'll go up. Right, they'll go up. So this we'll be watching this to see how we interact with this. You know, if you break down through here like this, and you're like, oh my gosh, here we go. Like here we freaking go. So we'll keep that in mind. What level that is at? That's at 610. 610. But overall, right? I mean, stablecoin dominance. You've had a green dot since October, right? October, November. We're reaching for the 100 on the stochastic. It would be very nice to get a lower high on the stochastic and just start to crash. That'd be so nice. But overall, it still looks pretty weak, right? Overall, this still looks weak. It just, it's being very resilient right now. Stablecoin dominance is being very resilient right now. Yeah, I don't need this on here. That's from the monthly. I don't need that. We can do that. Let's just make it red though. Let's make it red. There we go. That's from the monthly, the 776. What was it? 610. I want to bring this down to 610 because that's like where we need to get to. There we go. Did some editing. There we go. But on the 4 hour, right, this thing, the reason why I do think some coins, the market is going to go down a little bit, it's just this is flagging out again, right? This thing has been so resilient. It just looks like it's, coming down, and going to do that. That's what it looks like, right? I'm just based on what it looks like. That's exactly what it looks like. Something like that, down, then ripped. A little bit more steep, right? A little bit more steep. We can actually look at this real quick. Right, let's look at this real quick from the A. Yeah, the 1618 is right below the 20 EMA. 2618 still above. I mean, all these are still above the 200-day EMA. So even if you drop down to here, right, you're still finding support at the 100. You're not going to just go down from here. There's no reason for pardon me, stablecoin dominance to go down from here, right? It would be something like this, like you come up, or you go down, then you come up, then you come down, then you come up, and you come down like that, something like that. You got to reject these EMAs. Or I mean, it'd be really cool if you could just, slide through everything, but it would look like this, right? It's gonna catch the falling knife, right? It's gonna catch it, right? It's gonna catch it, all right? That's what it's gonna do. We did fall through right here. Let's zoom in. Let's zoom in for everybody. Let's zoom in right here. We'll end the video shortly, so thanks for sticking around. I appreciate it. If you're not subbed to the channel, please do so. It helps out the channel a ton. It's free for you. It keeps me doing these videos for y'all, so I really do appreciate it. Yeah, let's get into it. So right through here, same concept. Right, you fall through, you bounce, and then you reject, and then you fall through. All right, so that's what we're looking for. We're looking for a fall through, some kind of bounce, and then a harsh rejection, right? I mean, it's almost every single time. Bounce, come up, reject, go. That's what you got to do, right? It's not just straight down. I wish it was, But at the same time, it's the same thing for our assets. It's not just straight down, right? You find support at areas, and you find resistance at areas. So best case scenario, best case scenario, best case. We come down through here, we bounce, we reject. There we go. That's best case scenario. And in that scenario, alts and everything should be going up, and then they'll come back down, and then they'll really go up. Something like that. I mean, you can even, honestly, you can do it like that. There's so many options. The fact that your stablecoin dominance is still down through here, it's still super, I mean, it's still in the strong area. It's still above the 50. The stochastic has cooled off all the way, which I don't like. I don't like it. I don't like that the stochastic has already cooled off with all the momentum, because that just means, you know, you can get a nice bounce, and then you're back, and then you're right back up, right? Then you're back up again. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, we're getting something like this, right? Then all that momentum has to cool off, and then go up and get a lower high. A lot of possibilities right now. A lot of possibilities. So that's what I got for today. You know, a little bit of a chill day. You know, not much going on this week. I mean, anymore. We'll see. Actually, we'll see. There's supposed to be a full moon tonight, a beaver moon. So if you believe in that stuff, we should be pumping today and tomorrow. We should be. I don't know. Part of me wants to believe that kind of stuff. Part of me is like, that's just wishful thinking. But it's part of psychology. So, I'm not opposed. So as always, I do thank you for your time. Thank you for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Make sure that you have a plan. Make sure that you stick to your plan. These charts should give you hope moving forward. Stay out of the negative mindset, negative feedback things. So as always, have a great rest of your day. Take it easy. Peace.